Hey, my name is Mike, and in this video, I'm going to tell you what to do once you get to level 120 in Battle for Azeroth so you can start gearing up. The first time I got 120, I was a bit confused on what to do and where to go, so I figured this may help some people and reduce some frustration. So once you get level 120, there's a lot of things you can and should do immediately. The easiest way to get gear is going to be by running dungeons, starting with normals. Once you get a 305 item level, you can start queuing for heroics. And then once you get to around 320, you can start grouping up for mythic dungeons. Keep in mind that you can have a lower item level than 305 to get into heroic dungeons, but you'll need to form a group and manually walk in as if it were mythic. While you're waiting for your queue to pop, you should start working on your war campaign. If your queue times are short, then spend about 10 to 15 minutes between dungeons working through this. The war campaign is very important to get through because it unlocks your Flightmaster's Whistle, world quests, island expeditions, as well as the 2 mythic only dungeons. You also need to complete it for part 1 of Pathfinder, which unlocks flying later on. Before you get to 120, make sure you've started your war campaign and you complete the quest that requires you to do a mission that takes 2 hours. This is like the second or third quest you get and can be done pretty early on. You do not want to get to level 120 and then have to wait 2 hours for this mission to progress. The quest after this takes you to the opposite faction's island and is where your war campaign really begins. Once you have this option, you do not need to go there right away. You can do this at level 120. You'll eventually get to a point where you can no longer progress through the campaign, and that's because the later parts of it are locked behind a specific reputation with the honor bound. Make sure to also enable war mode if you haven't already, because there's a separate PvP campaign. If you're not a PvPer, don't stress out about this. All you need to do is unlock Warfront contributions, which doesn't take long, nor does it require much or any PvP. These contributions come in many forms, whether it's gold, war resources, or profession materials. Make sure you do as many of these contributions as you can because you get a ton of honor bound rep, which will help you unlock the last part of your war campaign quicker. It's also a great source of azerite. Keep in mind that when you're on the campaign part that unlocks world quests, you'll need to be friendly with every BFA faction to unlock them. This shouldn't be an issue if you've leveled in all 3 of your faction zones on your way to 120. Once you have them unlocked, you'll want to go out and complete the ones that you need. The rewards are similar to how they were in Legion, so azerite, gear, war resources, gold, and pet stuff. The rewards for completing 4 quests in a certain zone are a bit different. There won't always be a cache, but there is still a similar system that will award you with something else like gear, azerite, war resources, or gold. This is the second best way to gear up early on. At the very least, this helps you get an item level that allows you to queue up for heroics. It's also a great way to level up your Heart of Azeroth. Once you've gone as far as you can in the war campaign and you've done all the relevant world quests, it's time for you to go back and finish all the quests in each zone. Many of these quest lines award azerite, but most importantly give you rep with specific factions, including the honor bound. As you gain more war resources, make sure to do some missions at the mission table. It's an additional source of azerite, and you can also gain rep items, including for the honor bound. Make sure to also start your upgrades as soon as you unlock them, as almost all of them take a day to complete. These upgrades include a Hearthstone CD reduction, additional azerite and war resources from world quests, and things that make you more efficient in island expeditions and warfronts. Once you unlock island expeditions, you'll want to do those. I'm mentioning this last because the main reason you'll want to do this is to complete the requirement for collecting a certain amount of azerite. This is a weekly requirement though, so you have plenty of time to get it done, but make sure you do get it done though, because it gives you a large amount of azerite. For any PvPers out there, the majority of these things to do at 120 are still things you should be doing, including dungeons if you can stomach them. However, your focus will be more about reaching the weekly conquest point cap so you can get that PvP gear, and that should be increasing in efficiency as you unlock it. You'll definitely want to go through the PvP war campaign and pick up the quests at the war headquarters, the latter of which will provide you with some conquest points. After that, you can go out and do some world PvP or random battlegrounds for conquest points, but the best source of conquest will be arena and rated battlegrounds. So that's what you'll want to do once you get level 120 in Battle for Azeroth. Don't forget that the first PvP season and the first raid don't come out for about a month after the expansion's released, so you have plenty of time to get started on all of this stuff. Hopefully, having watched this video, you'll have a better understanding of how to start advancing your character at max level. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and have a nice day!